morning and welcome to another installment of Quilting Quickies here at Pine Needles Quilt and Sew in Rochester, Minnesota. We're glad you came back, and we're right in the midst of summer now, and I have 6 grandkids, and the summer would not be complete if they didn't come home at some point from a fair or from even the grocery store with a pinwheel. They absolutely love them, and so do I. It's a sure sign of summer that they can be running outside with pinwheels. So today, in that honor, I made a really quick and easy pinwheel quilt block, and it's using Dresden plates, so they kind of have this 3D effect, and I'm going to show you how to make this really quickly. Now I made this into a table runner. You could put these blocks up here so it would be a wall hanging, or you can make a whole full-size quilt with this using this technique. So we're going to use Prairie Points. These are Prairie Points in here. I'm going to show you a quick and easy way to make a Prairie Point. Now I'm using, for this I used a charm pack. Doesn't get any easier. Pre-cut fabrics, lots of different colors for you to choose from. And once again, like last time, I told you about this wonderful little ruler from Susan Cleveland. She's native of the Rochester area here. And this is absolutely wonderful. Now I know it's just a piece of metal, but it is got lines on it, and it has a center line which really helps us. So when we take our charm square, we're simply going to fold it in half like this. It couldn't get any easier. And then we'll take these to the iron and press them. And here I have one already pressed, and I'm going to show you from this way how to do this. And what we're going to do is we're going to line up our 5-inch line, and it is right down here towards the bottom, and then we're going to simply fold one side over right up against that center line, and we're going to fold the second side over right up against that center line. This iron is not hot. You're going to want to use a hot iron when you do this, but for demonstration's sake today, I'm just using a cool iron. And what you're going to do is you're going to lay that on there, and then you're going to pull this out. This gets kind of warm too, which is helpful to making the creases, but then we're just, as we have the iron on there, we're going to pull it out, and then we'll move over and we'll pretend that this one is pressed. And we're going to line this one up against the 5-inch line right here, and once again we're going to fold them down just as easy as that, and then we have a Prairie Point, and again we'll put the iron here. Now this one will lay nice and flat like this one when our iron is hot, and of course too the metal in here helps to set all these creases. So could it get any easier? No. These are pre-cut and ready to go for you. This is a great tool to use with your iron. All right, so now these were 5-inch squares, and so in here I just used a tone on tone. You can use whatever color you want to, but because these are 5 inches, this needs to be 5.5-inch square. So what we're going to do here is we're going to take our squares. We're going to have 4 for a block, and then we're simply going to lay these out like a pinwheel. And there'll be just a little bit. You want to make sure that this one is a 1/4 inch from the outside, and lay them down like this, and this, and this. So there we have the pinwheel. Now sometimes in order to make these stay for you a little bit better, you can dab a little stick of glue on the back of this, just to let them, so that it's easier for you to handle, or you can use pins. Now you know me, I don't like using pins. I am about getting things done, and I want to do it as fast as I can, and I don't want to mess with anything I don't have to. So then when we go to the sewing machine, we're going to put this one and sew it down here, and we're going to put this one together and sew it down here, and then we'll sew the 2 segments together. So we'll end up with something like this once it's all sewn together. Now here's my special secret. I just told you that I'm all about getting things done We keep having new fabric coming in all the time, and we can't ever keep up. So this little button, isn't it cute on here? Well, the reason I put that button on is not so much that it's cute, but now I'm going to tell you that it's cute. But if you look right here, these don't match up perfectly because I don't pin and I want to get things done. So nobody's going to know once we sew that button in the middle, and every pinwheel has kind of a button or whatever it is to make it go around. So that's the secret. If these don't match up, put a button on. I think I'd put a button on anyways just because it's so cute. So that's a secret right there. And I sewed all the buttons on with my machine with the button sew on foot. So now I have these 4 squares. It can be 3, it can be 5. You can make this into a quilt, whatever you want to do. You can sew these together, but I put on a sashing with a coordinating fabric. You can use whatever you want. These are 2.5-inch strips, 2.5 in between and 2.5 all the way around. And of course my binding too is 2.5-inch strips. So it couldn't get any easier than that for you to make a really fun summertime pinwheel table runner for your patio table or for inside, just to bring in a little bit of the summer cheer. So thanks again. I'm going to tell you that next week, or 2 weeks from now, we're also going to have another thing on Prairie Points, and you'll want to see that as well. So thanks so much. Have a great day, everybody.